If you've been dreaming about heading out on those gorgeous Arizona roadways in an off-road vehicle, there's a few things you need to know before you hit the open road.
First off, you're going to need a driver's license, insurance, and registration to operate any motorized vehicle on an Arizona-maintained road, whether that be a paved or a dirt road. Also, whether you're a resident or a non-resident, you're going to be required to purchase an OHV decal and complete this online education course before hitting the trails. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of operating an OHV safely. If you're under the age of 18, don't even think about operating or riding in an OHV without a Department of Transportation approved helmet.
They're required by law for anyone under 18, but they're recommended for everyone. Remember, kids must wear helmets while riding any type of OHV. Seatbelts are required for all front seat passengers and for anyone under the age of 16. If your vehicle is equipped with seatbelts, wear them. Traumatic brain injuries occur in over 1/3 of all OHV accidents. When it comes to small children, kids 5 and under cannot ride in an OHV unless they're properly secured in a car seat. If they're secured in a proper car seat, then they are exempt from having to wear a helmet, but only if they are properly restrained in a car seat.
If you're going to be riding legally on an ATV in Arizona, you must have a permanently mounted seat and footrests for all passengers. If your ATV or motorcycle isn't designed for more than one person, riding double can seriously upset the performance of the ATV or motorcycle and put both you and your passenger at serious risk.
There's nothing like the freedom and exhilaration you feel when you head out on the open road along some of Arizona's most beautiful landscapes. Sadly, too many people break the law by operating their OHVs with reckless disregard for people, property, and the environment. When complaints pile up, land managers can be forced to shut areas down, so protect your privilege. If you want to keep riding free, do it responsibly. Watch your speed. Driving too fast is the #1 cause of accidents. Whether speed limit signs are present or not, you must always drive at a speed that's reasonable and prudent for the current road conditions. A reasonable and prudent speed allows you to safely operate and maintain full control of your vehicle at all times. If you skid, slide, or lose control in avoiding a hazard, your speed is not reasonable and prudent. Spinning donuts is considered reckless driving, so be prepared for criminal charges, expensive fines, and a lot of points off your driver's license. Not only does this cause long-term damage to the landscape, it's extremely dangerous and results in many accidents and injuries each year. If you're driving your vehicle on an existing road or trail in a manner that causes damage to wildlife habitat, riparian areas, cultural or natural resources, that's reckless operation. Always stay on designated roads and trails. Don't make your own tracks or follow those left by others. Blazing your own path can cause soil erosion and damage fish and wildlife habitat. If you have to turn around, don't do it like this. Take your time and do a proper 3-point turn. This will minimize damage and get you back in the right direction. When you're out driving on these remote roads, respect private property. When you open a gate, be sure to close it. The general rule is to leave gates as you find them. This is a stock tank, an important source of water for livestock and wildlife. It is not okay to drive on these. This one even has signs warning people to stay off. Unfortunately, some people choose to break the law.
Law enforcement can only do so much. That's why it's up to you and the rest of the OHV community to take ownership and responsibility for conserving and protecting Arizona.
Remember that flashing lights, with the exception of turn signals, are prohibited. This means flashing chase lights are illegal, especially flashing red and blue lights that may look like law enforcement. Lights that are visible from the front of a vehicle may only be amber or white. Lights from the rear may only be red or amber. Please refer to www.azgfd.gov/OHV for more information. Don't drink or take drugs and operate an OHV. Alcohol impairs your central nervous system and affects your judgment. It also slows your reaction time. Being away from the city is not an excuse to behave badly. Driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol is just as illegal here as it is on the highway. You're breaking the law if you're impaired to the slightest degree. OHVs are big, powerful, noisy machines. How we use them matters to others and the environment we love to ride in. So here's a few things to be mindful of as a responsible OHV user. Operating an OHV off any designated trail is illegal. Enjoy, don't destroy landscapes. Stay on designated trails. If you see stray tire tracks leading somewhere other than a designated trail, do not follow them. Always stay clearly on designated roads. Don't blaze new trails or cut across switchbacks. Also, always try to avoid wet, muddy areas. OHVs can do serious damage to meadows, streams, and other wet areas that are important to wildlife and Arizona's water supply. It's important to remember that habitat is key to keeping wildlife species alive, abundant, and healthy. Habitat provides wildlife with food, water, shelter, and adequate space. Minimize your impact on wildlife. Streams are very fragile. Take extra precautions where trails cross streams. Also avoid driving off-road to avoid standing water. This causes the braiding of roads and leads to a significant amount of habitat damage. If it's too muddy, turn around. Don't trespass. There are criminal and civil penalties for violating trespassing laws. Operating without permission or in a disrespectful manner can lead to immediate closures that can directly affect your OHV opportunities. On your travels, you will run across other recreationists. Respect their right to the outdoors too. Slow down or stop your OHV when approaching others on the trail. When approaching others on the trail, pass in a safe and courteous manner. Be mindful of dust around homes and camps. When meeting equestrians, approach slowly, pull over, and stop. Once the equestrians have passed, you can continue. Hitting that open road into off-highway terrain has its risks. Always prepare for your trip and any problems you might anticipate in advance. Always consider terrain, location, weather, fuel consumption, and other factors that could affect your trip. Let someone know where and with whom you're riding and when you expect to be back.
There are lots of ways that your OHV riding could become a problem for someone else, but the bottom line is that we should all be able to get out and enjoy the trails. But there are some simple rules that you should keep in mind to get the most out of your OHV riding experience.
Always operate your OHV at a reasonable and prudent speed. Make sure not to ride on private property without permission. Pay attention to others riding or recreating around you. Leave gates and private property as you find them, and respect animal, wildlife, and habitat. Remember, ride smart and responsible. Enjoy, don't destroy. Learn more about OHV education programs. Whether you're an experienced rider or thinking of giving it a try, we have opportunities for you to try and brush up on your OHV skills. Visit www.azgfd.gov/OHV to sign up for a hands-on course or to take an online course.